The one and only Dan Aykroyd served as a guest on a recent episode of the podcast Bullseye with Jesse Thorne, and while there to promote his new Audible original, Blues Brothers The Arc of Gratitude would discuss a variety of Ghostbusters-related topics, from the classic 1984 film to this year's sequel, Frozen Empire. And a heads up, this conversation, it pretty much goes anywhere and everywhere, as you're about to find out, as in segueing into Ghostbusters, Thorne mentioned how the first film quickly became a hit with younger audiences, calling it a family movie. This would lead him to ask Aykroyd if it always had that part where Ray Stantz had a sexual relationship with a ghost. Yeah, he went there, and this is Aykroyd's response.
Yes, in the fort. He goes into the fort there, and he's looking around, and he's got the meter. He lies down on the bed, and the ghost comes down and undoes his belt. And actually, that's where it went. I don't know about you, but I kind of knew about sex at 7 years old, and I think most kids in America know about sex, and especially after Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, there are certain terms that are well known to the adolescent, preteen, and before. So that movie wouldn't have been too shocking.
Like in a recent Rolling Stones interview, Aykroyd also discussed the 2016 Paul Feig-directed Ghostbusters reboot and would again shoulder the blame for the film's inflated budget, but would proclaim it a great part of the collection.
I liked the movie with Paul Feig and those magnificent women. I really enjoyed it, and I liked the tack they took. I was mad at him at the time because I was supposed to be a producer on there, and I let my producing hat fall off, and the movie, there were some costs in there I didn't agree with, and Ivan did not agree with. But you got to let the filmmaker make what they're going to make. And damn it, you don't stand in the way. And, I was just trying to... So I was upset with them at the time. But I must say, and I go on the record now saying, that is a great part of the collection. If you're going to get all 5 movies, that is a great part of the collection.
An original writer and star of the franchise, to then going on to reprising his role as Ray Stantz in recent Ghostbusters sequels, Aykroyd has paid close attention to Frozen Empire's back end, mentioning the box office total and its success on home release.
It just crossed 200 million worldwide gross box office, and you can, be sure that not every movie out there today or in the last few months has done that. All the fans turned out to see it. It's streaming. It's a streaming hit now. It's going to be on Netflix. It's got a DVD, Blu-ray.
In keeping with Frozen Empire, Aykroyd would seemingly share his favorite moment in the film, which, while not overly talked about amongst fans, earned heavy laughs from the now 72-year-old actor.
The scene that's worth the price of admission in that movie, I laughed when I saw it, is when Garaka, the Meso-Arabic, entity, comes into the apartment and plugs his horns back in. Remember that scene? He plugs his horns in.
Finally, while we do know that an animated Ghostbusters Netflix series it is in the works, there thus far has been no word on another big screen follow-up. Aykroyd, he would note that Sony, they want to make more, however cost and a healthy box office return remain the franchise's biggest hurdles.
All the cast is great, and it's been a great success, and Sony wants to do more of them. Of course, all of these cost too much, and everybody knows that, and if you can do them for a price, they can go on for a long time.
Now, there is more Ghostbusters talk in this interview, so be sure to listen to the full Bullseye with Jesse Thorne podcast. We have a link to it down below in the description. With that said, that's all I've got for you for this one. As always, subscribe. If you'd like to join up with Ghostbusters news, check out our Patreon page. A link to that is also down below, and we'll see you right back here next time.
Your spine, your senses don't deceive you. Call up the guys who are ready to believe you. The number's 555-2368. But before you call, let's get something straight. What do you do when the ghost has been busted? Is it the source universally trusted? If you got a case of Ghostbusting blues, the cure for sure is Ghostbusters news. Jason's the guy